but I would definitely, keep mind of those problems that can occur through a rental, and they're all really dependent on the relationship you have with the agent and the landlord. And the other point is they're not as safe. Australia is a very, very safe place to live, to study, to reside. You're going to have no problems, I'm pretty sure. But in relation to a comparison in regards to safety, I would probably definitely arguably not as safe as PBSA on campus college accommodation or the homestay. Let's go to on-campus colleges. Very good option if you're a younger student. Quite convenient, good student mix. Meals are usually included, and again, you have that safety aspect. The elements, though, that can be a bit detrimental are that they can be the most expensive accommodation option, depending on which college you decide to reside on, and which university. And the flexibility is not as apparent as some of the other options too. Usually it's a full academic year that you have to go into a college. Facilities can be a bit older as well, not as modern, particularly as the PBSA option. And you have that traditional collegial environment. Now, that can be a positive and a negative. If you like, living in a collegial environment, well, then maybe your on-campus colleges are right for you. But again, it can come with certain restrictions, certain rules, certain commitments you have to do as a resident into, student associations or clubs or societies, and I guess contributing to that college, that particular college. And then it comes to us and what we do. When I say us, I mean the PBSA sector, which Scape Group specialize in, and there's a number of providers in the PBSA sector, but arguably, and we'll touch on this in a minute, Scape Group are probably the largest and the most prominent in Australia. The positives, it's very, very safe. So again, 24/7 customer service, security, even access to get into the building, then to get into the lift, then to get into your student floor, then to get into your apartment. There's multi-levels of security, which you can only access via a swipe card and a key card, and also sign in at the front desk too. It's student only. Now that's a very good positive, in the sense that you build a bit of a rapport there with fellow students, not just from the one university, but multiple universities too, at different levels, undergraduate and also say pre-undergraduate, so pathway, and also postgraduate. The partnerships, Scape Group, again, probably the strongest in Australia for university partnerships. So we're a preferred provider for most universities. So we have that assurance there for students and parents. And then there's that flexibility, the choice, varying room types, varying price ranges. And I'll touch on that a little bit later. Another convenience, it's all inclusive. So your costs, so there's nothing where you have to do to set up an internet account, an electricity account, water bills, insurance. It's all inclusive. So that again is a point of convenience and definitely a positive. Even transport to uni. Some of our properties, Toowong, for example, at South Bank in Brisbane, Swanston Street in Melbourne, they have regular bus shuttles, which is the property Scape Group's own bus, which goes to the campus. To be frank, we don't offer that very broadly because the buildings are usually very close to the universities anyway, if not on the university. We have some properties on the universities as well. So that again is another positive. Airport pickup as well, we can arrange that, which obviously you don't get with the other options. I guess some things where students wish they had in purpose-built student accommodation sometimes. The meals, we do have some properties which offer meals. Sydney, Darlington House, for example, that offers meals, full catered meals, grab and go as well, but it's limited. Most PBSA providers do not provide that meal offering in their accommodation packages. And again, they can be quite large resident communities. Some of our buildings, our buildings do occupy anywhere between 150 students, right up to about 700 plus. So some people like that. They think it's fantastic. It's vibrant in the building. There's a lot of people to network and meet. Some people would prefer be a little bit more private. But the good thing for us is that we've got a range of accommodation options that are, accommodate a vast number of students, and those that accommodate, relatively a few less. Next slide. So the Scape Group itself. So now I've given you a bit of a run through of the accommodation options. Let me talk about the Scape Group ourselves. So arguably Australia's largest purpose-built student accommodation provider. And I will touch upon the scale in the next slide. There's 3 brands, Scape, Urban Nest, and Atira. Now, if you're an IB student, if you're quite early in the student journey, you might not have come to the point of looking for accommodation yet. But when you do, when you've got that offer from the university, that full offer, even probably before your pre-acceptance, you've probably started to flirt with the idea and looked at some accommodation options. And if you have, particularly in Australia, there's probably no doubt that one of these brands have come into the mix somewhere. Again, being that we're quite diverse and we have quite a substantial offering. We accommodate all student types, both domestic and international. We have a very strong domestic cohort within our properties. Doesn't fluctuate too much from city to city. Usually, again, I would say it's around a 60-40 split between domestic and then international students. The locations. These are the key selling points, again, for probably Scape Group in regards to our accommodation options. Location, they say when you're buying real estate, it's location, 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 and it's no different from what we offer. If we're not on a university, we're pretty much next door or very close. And that is something that the company strives to when they acquire a bit of land or an asset. So again, access to that university is key. Obviously, access to the city as well. Most Australian universities are very well positioned, in the sort of city and around the city centre. There's a few that aren't, but again, then we offer the transport if that's the case. Access to restaurants, shopping, and transport, not just to get to the university, but to get to other fantastic places to go and see and do in Australia. Safety, for me, probably the most important factor, and I'd say the most, I guess, the one that the students and particularly the parents look at the most. And again, we're staffed 24/7 in all of our buildings, 24/7 security. I mentioned the multi-swipe access before. Essentially looking at 4 times swipe access before you even get into your room. It's a student-only residence as well, okay? And then they're all university partner vetted. So the universities come through, they do audits, very regularly, check that everything's fine, not just in regards to student welfare, but even the fixtures and that, it meets the students' needs. And then we also have an additional auxiliary option. Well, it's not an option, it's compulsory. We give our students the access to the Sonder App, and I'll touch on that later. A fantastic 24/7 welfare app where, if you're feeling that you need any assistance or you're feeling any unease or apprehension at the swipe of your phone, the Sonder App can assist you in multiple scenarios. The comfort, again, another advantage. Most of the buildings are very modern. They're top class, facilities and fixtures. They're designed for students too. So the furnishings you find are good, even the chairs. I don't know if you can see behind me here, this screenshot, but this is a studio apartment. Even the way the chairs are done ergonomically to make sure it supports your back well, and the desk is curved, that type of thing, the height. A lot of work's gone into it just to make sure that it suits students and it's good for your study life. Additionally to that, there is the external study rooms. When I say external, outside of your room or outside of your cluster, there's communal study rooms with excellent facilities, flat screen TVs, cinema room, gyms, swimming pools in some properties, barbecue areas, outdoor areas like communal lounging areas, gaming, etc., etc. Goes on and on. This is the scale. So I talked a bit about the scale. So again, Scape Group, arguably Australia's largest in 2021. So we're in January now, 2022, but 13,000 students over 24 properties in the cities that you see in Australia, which is Brisbane, Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne. Perth is under development and coming online very soon. By 2024, there'll be 45 properties, and minimum will be housing about 23,000 students. So you can see there the scale of what Scape Group have. And no doubt maybe some of you here, again, that are listening will have a touch point, if not live with us at some point, given our scale. In talking about what we offer, and I mentioned a little bit before in the first slide, difference between homestay, difference between sort of residential, private rentals and residential colleges. This is a good slide because it encompasses pretty much a lot of what we offer. Not everything, because there's too much to list, but some of the key elements. The idea is to essentially make it a very easy transition from a student's home, particularly international student, into university life. And we come into that variable. So no life admin for students. There'll be no contracts to sign except your residential contract. That's it. Nothing for utilities, nothing like that. Really allows you to just sit back, relax, enjoy your everything essentially taken care of. And that's your Wi-Fi, which is super fast, pretty much amongst the fastest you can get in Australia, unlimited downloads as well, 24/7 customer service, which I've mentioned, and as well as the property to campus and institutional transport for some properties. Meals, again, they vary on property, but mostly bed, and some king beds in some of the studio options, and study desks that again, I mentioned the ergonomics of that before with the chair. Fully equipped kitchenettes, individual, which is really important, individual kitchenettes, individual heating and cooling control in each room, ensuite power showers, cinema rooms, 24/7 gym, too, for some properties, for most properties actually, and pools as well, depending on which property you're in. Communal study spaces, communal kitchens, games rooms. So I won't go on and on, but you can see there very strong offerings in relation to what the Scape Group offers within its properties. There's even a maintenance team, which I mentioned to you before. So again, no hassle. If there's a problem with your room, which seldom there is, you give front desk a call. We have a maintenance team on site and we'll be up there to fix it in a jiffy. Some of the room types. So I'll touch on this a little bit. And again, some of you might be very, very early on in the student journey. And I know a lot of you are consulting with universities, so maybe student accommodation is in the back of your mind a little bit, but it's good to get across and abreast of what's on offer. What we do, we offer shared type of apartments. Hi, I just got a notice here that I was disconnected. Layla, can you let me know whether you can hear me again? And I've reconnected and things are okay.
Yep, I can hear you now.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Great, all right. So yeah, I touched a little bit about the room types. Let me go through and show you just a bit of an idea of this here is a deluxe studio. Here's a single ensuite, actually, one of our most popular type of rooms that you will see, and something that a lot of PBSA providers offer. This is the actual room plan here, where you have an ensuite, you have your own bathroom, there's a bed, a wardrobe, and a desk. Some of them do contain a kitchenette too. It just depends on what type or format of ensuite you're going for. This is what we call a 4-bedroom ensuite. So single ensuite. So you have here the 4 bedrooms here and the communal area here. Okay, all with their own ensuites, as you can see, and they vary. Sometimes we have 2 with an area. Sometimes we have them up to 6 or 8. It really just depends on the type of property. Deluxe Studio, probably the most common. Again, you have your own kitchenette, wardrobe, fridge. There's the kitchenette here, ensuite. You can see some images here, and I'll show you another image in a minute, but these are entirely self-contained studios. and definitely probably the most preferred and ones that students who maybe a little bit, on a more flexible budget would look at. Here's a picture here, and that's the one right behind me of a self-contained studio. You can see the kitchenette coming here. Some of them usually have a TV on the wall. The bathroom would be actually facing just the back to that. And I'll give you a bit of an idea here of pricing. I know you're probably, again, early in the decision-making process, but I thought I'd throw this in there because it gives you a bit of an idea of, particularly if you're planning to budget. And again, you can see the varying price range from 188 Singapore dollars a week right through to 722. As you'd expect, Sydney and Melbourne, the more expensive, obviously, in regards to city cost and expenses. They are the most expensive cities in Australia to live, then followed by Brisbane and Adelaide. A twin studio, you were there coming in at around 188 Singapore dollars, and you go right up to your own studio, self-contained apartment, which is basically got everything, city views, a lot. Maybe I think that one could be even catered as well with meals included. You're looking at 744. That'll be 722 Singapore dollars. I'll play a short video for you, and you can maybe see one of the rooms, our Scape room. So let me see, hopefully this works. Might be a bit of lag. Let me know, Layla, if this comes through and if you can hear it properly. It goes for a few minutes.
Hello guys, welcome to Scape
Is that coming through, Layla?
Videos. My name is Stephanie and I'm a sales executive at Scape Brisbane. Today I'm so excited to show you an amazing build at Scape Toowong. We are in a multi-shared apartment with 8 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. With your key, you have access to the main door and to your room for your security. This is one of the rooms with urban views. Our rooms have a double-sized bed and a bedside table with drawers. And here in the study area, you have a desk and a smart TV. So in this apartment, every single room have their own TV, a big shelf for you to store your books, and also a 2-door wardrobe with drawers and a full-length mirror. And you also have your own aircon. This is another room with a different view. This one is with city view, where you can see some of the city and beautiful views, especially at night. For who wants more space, we have a bigger room in this apartment. As you can see, the room is really similar to a studio, also with a double bed, but a bit more storage than the other ones. This room have under the TV, this bigger storage, a smart TV, bigger shelves, a bedside table, and the wardrobe. This bathroom, it's a bit bigger than the bathroom that is in the studio, with a powerful shower, another mirror cabinet, and here we have this line where you can attach it here and hang up some clothes. This is the kitchen area, and here we have 2 big fridges, 2 sinks, one on the side of the room, another one on the other side, a microwave, a dishwasher. We actually have 2 dishwashers. Cabinet with keys so you can lock your pantry, a bench kitchen top, and also here 2 freezers. Here a big induction cooktop, easy to clean and as well for your safety. More drawers and more cabinets. As I said, we have 2 dishwashers and another sink. Here we are in the living area, and here we have an amazing comfortable couch where you can rest after a long day at university. We also have a bigger TV in the living room with access to internet, Netflix, YouTube, and here we have a large dining table where you and your roommates can share a dinner together with this beautiful view. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to contact one of our Scape team to book a tour with us. I see you in the next video.
So that was just a bit of a video. I hope it come through clearly. The internet seems a little bit choppy, so apologies. But that was Scape Brisbane, Scape Toowong. Just finishing up, I know we've got around about 5 minutes, 3 minutes left. Just in rounding up, what we try and do for our students too is we have a pretty much strong mission statement on making sure we integrate students as much as possible and ensure that they're in they get encouraged to immerse themselves not just in the building and university life but also city as well and what's going on. Our university partnerships are very key to that as well. And I mentioned about how we're the preferred provider for many universities in Australia, or a preferred provider. But again, we have various activities. We have a calendar, a monthly calendar, basically activities right throughout, nearly every day and throughout the week, which students can join in, mingle with domestic students as well. One thing that we do for our international students, that's a real big hit, is we have the International Festival, where we essentially encourage students to share something from their culture, or say from Singapore. It might be, I don't know, a particular dish from Singapore or Malaysia or whatever, roti canai or wherever it might be, share that, cook that for the residents, and just learn and mingle and learn about other people's cultures. So we do that quite regularly. Scape Horizons as well. This is a really good initiative, and I think, again, yes, we offer a student accommodation. We try and do more than that, and this is a perfect example. What we try and want to do is, even outside of the classroom, outside of the residence, try and provide students something that helps them outside of university. Now, that might be in relation to getting a part-time job or work opportunities, internships, careers fairs. We have a lot of employees come into the properties to talk to students, because we have some very, very strong students, scholarship students, students that are on government-funded scholarships that are in the properties, and there's firms that want to try and capture them if they can't capture them in university. So we have those type of events and corporate networking as well. Scape Group themselves, the capital investors, the investors are, from some of the big corporations in the world too. So we have a lot of access. Even our senior team has some fantastic access to some of the corporates in Australia. The balance as well, student welfare, particularly in this time during COVID, is paramount. It's so important. Ensuring that students are in the right frame of mind to be successful in their studies. And yes, it comes with the environment that they're feeling comfortable, but even outside of that. So we really, really look at doing things, help with mindfulness, with things that, such as yoga and boot camps, that will give our students a better mental and better mind state of being. One of those things we do is we do cooking classes too. Many of the students have come to Scape. It's maybe their first time where they're not too good in the kitchen, probably like me. So we do cooking classes for them too, and that really is a positive and something they enjoy. And just finally, on the Sonder app, I know we're out of time now, but I wanted to talk about this. Is very important. All our students get access to this Sonder app, and what it is, it's a 24/7 multilingual rapid response service that you download on the app. It's basically assistance for your day-to-day worries, or if you're really worried about a critical incident that you're very concerned of. Essentially, you can send alerts to the Sonder team. They can send a trained professional. That professional could be an ex-off-service or off-duty police officer, ambulance person, security to ensure and give you assurances that you're going to be fine. Again, Australia is a relatively safe place, extremely safe, but this is, again, is a fantastic auxiliary service that Scape provide and others don't, and it's free to our students. Layla, thank you for having me. I hope that gives your students a bit of an idea. Again, please speak to your IDP counsellor if you're interested to learn more about Scape Group and what we offer, particularly in the cities that you are going to study in. Would love to have you on residence and yeah, provide just more than a bed for you. Thanks, Layla.
Thank you so much for your presentation. And any students who have any questions for Mr. Henshaw can actually contact him to set up a meeting to ask any queries they have. And for the rest of the students who are joining the next webinar starting now, need to exit out of this one to go to the next from the main page. Thank you so much once again.